enjoy it and handle this week. But not for long. Might go with someone else, right?
Susie good, boy? Well, aside from the health, obviously.
Yeah, life is
health,
Yeah, the cleaning.
life is full of challenges,
Yeah,
ups and downs, but
Yeah.
the
So
good
like,
is life.
you know, from here, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know, and go.
No matter-
They multiply by
Right.
second now,
Yeah.
yes.
No matter what's going on, we here.
Right. So basically, I know you have an idea of what we did last year, right? Of course, you know how to tap into your health, your health routine, your fitness routine, and that kind of thing, right? We see a lot of changes there. After Carnival wrapped up last year, what was it like? What did you do? Was it more dedicated to family and studio, that kind of thing? Of course, we want to touch on this season. What is the plans? You'll touch on soul of soca and that kind of thing, your music and that kind of thing. I don't know. This season kind of late. Like, for instance, it's only Full Blown song and Nadia Batson song. By this time, French Toast last year, I knew your song. I knew Teja's song. I know plenty songs. But like, a lot of people release a lot of songs, but it's not catching on. I don't know what's going on with this season or whatever. But I don't know. This season kind of iffy.
I have a theory.
Yeah.
So when we get to that.
So this season iffy, and then the environment.
I've seen it shake, yeah.
Go over season.
The carpet.
Carpet, yeah. You want to move it?
Yeah, you put that outside.
Yeah, so this season a lot of is iffy, and also we could also ask you, being a promoter, I've seen the pot of water, take down the blue water smell. Yeah, the being a promoter as well with Soul of Soca, how was the did the alcohol increase affect you? The new timelines in town affect you? These type of things, you know. We will ask that for sure. And were you able to, because you talk about this year, because I remember you talk about this year you wanted to spend more time, so switch and spend more time with family, and were you able to accomplish that? You know, these type of things. And what was your greatest challenge of doing that, you know?
Well, you know how we just do it?
Correct.
Use the driver in charge.
So I just gain you
the
a little,
overview.
yeah, a little
Nice.
some setup what we want to do. So
I already like the vibe. Still, top one interview
yeah.
where I felt most comfortable, most safe.
True.
Yeah. I mean, I've had good interviews after, I'm not gonna lie, but still hasn't gotten as intimate as and as vulnerable as this interview.
Well, yeah, because people just be afraid to ask for the Trinidad artist thing. And then
Because the artist would be afraid to answer.
correct and duck them after, and when they call in, they yeah, me an interview.
You find like you're throwing jabs, but you realize I hear.
No, the idea is that you was different, but them normal people. I don't consider you normal artists, you know. You have to
I
remember that.
know all Anthony stuff that.
You intelligent and have some kind of
You
business acumen.
see?
You intelligent and have
Because
some
we're
kind
supposed to
of.
put these behind the scenes out, you know. You
No,
get in trouble, but you'll go viral for sure.
No, the thing is, it's true. The thing is that a lot of the artists they have talent but not business acumen, and this is not only for a local, on an international scale as well. A lot of the artists could sing, but they don't know how to talk. They don't know how to communicate. They can't answer questions. So when they go on TV, that's why the labels, they train them. You see, I work in LA and New York and thing with artists and stuff, and I know them. Some of them are very shy, right? But they could sing. When you put them on a stage, they just come alive, you know? Even Vaughan said that when he go on the stage, it's a whole new Vaughan. It's not normal, timid Vaughan.
Yeah.
So what we get when the artists come here is who they are, as opposed to not the person, the ego person on the stage, you know?
Yeah.
The alter ego. So, but with you, I just hold you to a different standard.
Yeah, I don't know. We have something going on here where you can't admit to wrongs, or you can't
Yeah,
say
you can't
anything
ask
bad.
artists,
You
yeah.
can't criticize. You can't be criticized.
Yeah.
I
I think
asked
it's
Nyla about the record deal. I was like, in light of the Diddy situation, like, tell me what going on with the record deal. Are you being treated fair? I still waiting on the answer 2 weeks later. I don't know if she will answer. So things like that people want to know. We're afraid to ask.
Like,
because
I
the
can't
artist
go
won't
to
answer.
an event and say, so guys, we're at this event, whatever, it's very late and we have not started yet. You're mad.
Yeah,
Or if we didn't have a great
You get to
turnout,
come
then
back.
there's an accountability issue.
well, from the head.
Yeah,
it begins with the head.
there's an accountability issue where the accountability and transparency hasn't become popular or it hasn't fit into successful as yet. Yeah.
Same there though.
You remember it at that point. You remember it at that point in
Same
time where like sexuality or even borderline smut was like taboo and people wouldn't, especially female artists, they wouldn't discuss it. They wouldn't even acknowledge the existence of it by admitting that there's a certain attention that comes from when a woman dresses a certain way and stuff like you understand? Remember it would be avoidance. And even when it comes to even like everybody, it had a period where artists felt like they had to be politically correct or diplomatic all the time in terms of their own emotions about something, their own opinion about something. And with social media and influencership and stuff, that kind of break down a little bit. You understand? Kind of break down a little bit. So I think it's just a matter of, unfortunately for here, as a place that's set up and still running for whatever reason, as like a third world country, and these kinds of contained mindsets, seasonal, and it's gonna take a little bit longer for certain things to like naturally shine through, one, and two, I think because of the mindset, there's like a follow vibe now. Like, let us look and see what getting through a certain way, and let we try and follow that energy rather than individuality, rather than a confidence in expression, rather than understanding the psychology behind some of those things that they seemingly seem successful. I mean, I always remember something that, like, it was like something Dolly Parton was telling to another artist, basically saying like, when you get into entertainment, that persona or that part of you that you offer up to the public, it no longer belongs to you.
Correct.
So there's a level of accountability and transparency that comes with that. I mean,
hey, we supposed to be getting this
we are getting them on camera. That's not it's part of the sequence.
Yeah, so let me start because
you see why I see he as intelligent and a little bit different from the rest. It's just that he responds thanks. So turn the phone forward now.
Oh, that's kind of high down like there.
Oh, it's forward. Yeah, the plate is back.
Metal? Oh, that's the only metal on the front. Check.
Right, so remember your opening, right? 5, 4, 3, 2, and go.
Blessings of the new year to each and every one of our viewers. I am your host Nigel Telesford, and this is ET&T's Chit Chat. ET&T's Chit Chat is brought to you by
5, 4, 3, 2, go.
Yes, folks, I know you all missed us. We were tinkering a little bit behind the scenes, but we are back with the man. GBM Neutron is in the house.
Yes.
And we have lots to talk about. I mean, you have all kind of things going on. I mean, you really see you since last year. Like, what happened from last carnival to now? Like, where were you? I seen some buff going on here. Like,
boy, lots has happened. Life has been happening. Ups, downs. But
you had downs?
Of course.
Oh, you mean on the weight? You did the weight down?
I mean, you must lift it up and put it down at some point in time. No, but really and truly, life. I'm a human being, and I'm not going to sit down here in front, especially as we chit-chatting, boy.
Correct.
You know what I mean?
We want to keep it real.
Yeah, I want to keep it real. We all go through ups and downs, but the most important thing is that I'm still here. I'm still love.
In the present.
Yeah, you know what I mean? So, we could talk about it. I mean,
you had some good songs bubbling last year, and then Carnival done, and you just disappear on me. Like,
I had to. I wouldn't honestly. I disagree with that. I wouldn't say that I disappear. I mean, who know? No, right? Because you know how the season goes. After having a season like what last year was, not just for me, but for a lot of different artists, we had a long season. We had a guap of amazing music. So everybody then basically went on their mission to spread ambassadorship, carry the songs abroad. You know, I had one of the most amazing touring years of, you know, getting to see places that I hadn't seen before, visit new places, visit old places, with new energy, you know, like I just kind of got into my bag.
Well, as you mentioned bag, we had to talk about the KFC. Did you take KFC along on this journey, or that was just a Trinidad thing?
No, that was a Trinidad thing for sure. That was a one-piece thing in terms of, you know, the visuals and that whole energy. Right. We've been in communication back and forth. We still good friends. Right. You know what I mean? I still eating a little one piece and fries. Yeah.
Some fries and a biscuit.
Yeah, for sure. But I just been locked in on, you know, spreading the energy from last year, and then by, I would say, somewhere around June, July, I kind of, as I promised myself from earlier in the year, if you tap into our last interview here at ET&T, I tapped into my family energy. Right. Something that for a few cycles been on my mind, you know what I mean, just going through the process of healing myself and getting more tight-knit and bonded with my immediate family. So I spent the latter half of the year from maybe July, August, right up to just before coming down to Trinidad in December on the family vibes.
Nice. Yeah. I mean, it sounds like you take the mental health protocol to a different level and you just say, all right, this is the time, I need to put in the work there.
Yeah.
Everything else could wait. Pause a little bit.
You just get the signs. Yeah. And for me, you know, like, I am human first. I'm a man after that. Then, you know, like, everything comes after that. Almost the rules come after that. So it's like I have to take care of my mental health.
Well, you know, the Glam God want me to dig into this here now. Like, what does that mean? That means husband, daddy. What's the family scenario for you?
Husband, daddy, son, brother. Friend,
uncle,
cousin, you know. So that's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility because that is my personal life. My career, which is the provisional resource for maintaining all of these different relationships, is business partner, artist, you know, ambassador, promoter, songwriter, producer, engineer. You know, like now I'm getting into graphics a lot, so, you know, using AI tools. Now I'm graphic artist, and, you know, all these different. My career is basically an outlet for me to exercise a lot of different skills, a lot of different talents. You know, but it's a lot. It's a lot of responsibility, but at the same time, this is the way that God writes it out to be. So
it's up to you to balance it or not.
Yeah, he don't give you nothing you can't handle.
Now, being somebody who's not even based in Trinidad, are you able to fully just focus on the music, or do you still have a day job? You balancing, juggling?
Fully focusing on the music, yeah. Fully focused, locked in. We have our studio out there in New York. You know, we took our events that we did here in Trinidad to New York after the season and to Baltimore as well. And then in the partnership that I am career-wise in with Kenwood Holder, Big GB. I wouldn't use this platform to deliver all his different AKs and what.
I know you're a multifaceted individual. Big up GB.
Yeah, big up G. He's doing Ramage Mass Band along with the Ramage team. Big up Risha and Rishal. The whole, you know, there's energies on that side where they're doing Miami Carnival, and, you know, there's a lot there. We have merchandise printing going on. listen, there's a long list of things that
which is good.
Yeah, it's good.
And that means business is good.
Business is good.
So you're here to share.
I mean, share the music and the knowledge on how to start your own business, which is
equally
right?
important.
Yeah.
So sometimes even more important.
Yeah.
So what you put forward so far for this season?
Musically, right now we have we started off with Tilili, which is
with Nyla.
Collaboration with Nyla, big up Nyla and Anson.
Nice remix.
Yeah.
Remake.
It's like you know me with the interpolations of the, I would say, identifiable nostalgic pieces. So
and that came out early too, right?
Very early, yeah.
So you kind of set a trend there because this year looking like
well,
nostalgia, yeah.
Yeah, just
remix.
Continuing along the vibes, keeping the consistency. Then I did a song called This Moment with Skinny Fabulous, which it was fun for me because I don't think it's an expected collab, but more on like that kind of soca poppy energy, a kind of dance energy, different in terms of the collaboration for me with Skinny, and different for Skinny too, I think, in terms of just that style, yeah. And then him too having, a collab with GBM, real nice fun song. Then I released my first single, which was My Everything. Is like that kind of carnival love song, love on the road for me, an experience that I had that I put into song, and I'm sharing my everything as a result. And we just recently released another single officially called Raise Up, which is like high energy.
That sounds like power soca kind of vibes.
Yeah, high energy, leaning on the bouillon aesthetic.
Nice.
But delivering it in my way. And that one is pumping right now, building nicely. And then a Soft Leak, another track.
Soft Leak?
Yeah, Soft Leak, I call it.
Tested it out.
Yeah, a track called Fuego.
Fuego.
Produced and written by London Future. Dope track.
Where you find him?
Where he find me?
In Germany or somewhere, Berlin or somewhere.
Yeah. He out there, again, exploring his musicality as well. So big up to London. And from that track now, and the way, there's a story that I've been telling with the artwork for some of these pieces, particularly started it off with My Everything, where there's this robot, Tron, and he has a human heart, finds his way into Trinidad Carnival, and starts to experience the revelry and the gathering and the togetherness, start to experience the rhythm of Carnival now, the heartbeat of the Carnival, and that energy now start to power his heart and transform him from machine to man. And the metaphor in it is really what we experience on a daily, where sometimes you feel like a machine, you wake up, go to work, 9 to 5 as you saying, whatever your routine is, you feel robotic, but Carnival and music and the culture and the vibe is something that now helps us to soften and free up and experience love and energy and excitement and sometimes pain, because when you drink too much punching
it is burn.
So this story, and it's not a story, this is actually the first time that I'm actually speaking it out, because here
at the Chit chat, I see the images and
if you pay attention to the artworks, you will see that this character Tron is transforming with each experience, and the songs and them are expressions of the experiences that transforming him from machine to man. So that story being told visually with the artwork. I haven't explained this anywhere else. I haven't explained this except to my team before because they're like, where you come out from with this robot and how is this, you know?
Yeah, they probably ask you what
what grade. But actually I haven't really done that in a while either. So this is now me experiencing a connection to myself and to my identity, to my creativity, and just taking a gamble. I know some of these concepts are high level, but this is the way that I feel to share what I've been experiencing and how I see it and how I find it relates to other people as well. So I've been having a really fun time doing that. And we're at the point where Tron is like this half man, half robot. He's a cyborg basically, bareback in a fet, waving rags, high energy, getting on wild with the crowd. And
I know you see the robots in China that dancing and things.
Yeah.
So this is so far-fetched as much as it's sounding like it out there.
I mean, we're in the age of AI too, so you know all of that plays a part in terms of how relevant I feel this story is to tell right now.
But even before the artwork and the imagery though, I wanted to ask you because your music, the style that you were injecting into the season, into the carnival scenario, seemed calculated. It seemed, because then we saw, I mean, alright, so you were like the R&B soca guy, right? Like you injected that R&B love, melodies kind of vibe, right? And then we saw this whole resurgence of R&B parties all over the place. So it seemed like you set a trend there, and then people just kind of follow that energy, follow that vibe, and now it kind of overflowing.
I wouldn't take any accreditation from that now, because if I calculated anything is that next week I'm going and gamble. I would say that, you know, myself and the people that I surrounded by, we are very much lifers. We are people that we're going through that human process, as I mentioned before, of healing, growing, adapting, evolving. And I think that we know there's no such thing as perfection, right? And that's okay, because it's about the journey. And approaching the journey from that angle is kind of make it in tune with certain things that happening collectively. And for me, where the creativity is concerned, I've always been a super fan of R&B, always been a super fan of hip hop and you know, rock and pop music, and of course calypso and soca music. And I just felt a natural shift to fuse the two, to, you know, get into my feelings a little bit more. And so that's how my groovy style kind of come about. And I just kind of continue in that consistency and continuing to experiment and have fun with it, you know. And it just lining up that way. If I'm being transparent, it just lining up that way, because I think other people feeling some of those same things too, you know. Like, we go through phases, so we might have that phase where, you know, more darker emotions or more aggressive emotions is the trend, and then it switch back. It lighten up and people want to sing Keisha Cole to the top of their lungs again, and you know, people want to talk about love or fall in love or feel love, and I just kind of like go in with those natural feelings as it hit me, and I line it up. So,
alright, we're gonna pause for a cause and be right back with ET&T's Chit Chat.
Well, we was live on TikTok just now, to which we'll go back again just now.
Thanks for telling us now.
No, but it was a really good conversation, right? Y'all are doing good. I want to give y'all a break, of course, so that you wouldn't be tense, so you can breathe and stuff like that. Where we're gonna go now? Well, I see Nigel went into everything one time.
Yeah.
Like, I better we just wrap up. But no, where I want to go now is I want to touch on Carnival as a product. In your purview, do you think Carnival is a product that we could bottle and sell to the globe, or we're not ready yet? And I mean, that's a very controversial conversation, of course, which you will give your your viewpoint on, and I know you're intelligent, so I know you'll give a good answer. But do you think we could bottle it yet? And also, what are your views on all the changes that were done and the impacts that would have had on this year's carnival? Like, specifically, the war with Venezuela, the increase in alcohol prices, the times that we have to lock off in Port of Spain, the venue. What are your promoter and an artist? Mm-hmm. Did that affect you in any way? Did you see any effect in any way? And what do you think the impact on Carnival is? And do we take Carnival serious as a nation? Because I would say we are the second best carnival in the world, right? We would say we are the best, but from a global standpoint, people recognize Brazil first,
yes,
and then Trinidad, right? Even though we started Carnival started here, right? But they recognize Brazil Carnival, but Trinidad Carnival is the mecca of carnivals. Mm-hmm. Because I can officially say that. However, do you think our leaders see that? Mm-hmm. Do you think our artists and writers and producers, do we see it that way, or is it a hustle? Mm-hmm. Because, for instance, if I take up a computer and started to Google and started to do graphics, and you call me and say, our graphic for a thing, but you just give me 100 now, alright, cool, mm-hmm. kind of thing. Am I really taking it as a business? It's a hustle. Mm-hmm. There's a difference. As a business now, I will give you an invoice, and you would pay this or whatever, and you would say, well, you pay within this time, whatever, I need a deposit. It's a business, right? Mm-hmm. But it's a hustle. Then you come next week and you say, I want a favor, but how does that impact on my business, mm-hmm. my art? You understand? Yeah. Okay, so let's go. 5, 4, 3, 2, go.
We are back with ET&T's Chit Chat, and we're chatting with the man GBM Neutron. Now we want to get into the hot topics, and you as a man based outside, I think we could bravely go where some of the artists don't seem to want to go. I don't know. We were talking offset about the fact that accountability and transparency seems to be a bit of a taboo scene still. We don't really talk about the issues that affect our industry for the most part, for whatever reason. But we can do it with you.
Yeah.
I don't think you're afraid of them.
No.
Plenty of people afraid of them, and they're afraid to get blacklisted, and they can't say how they really feel and things. But we want to know how you really feel about Carnival as it's evolving with all the restrictions, all the recent changes that have been put upon the festival, on the venues, on the price of alcohol, all these things. How has that affected you? How do you see the product from your viewpoint outside? Coming back in.
I think for me there's been 2 ways that it's affected me. One is like logistically, right? Where you have a raise in the price of alcohol, you have restrictions on venues, curfews in a sense. Those things like business, business transactions change. Like different promoters, somebody who might have done an event last year, they now priced out. They can't do the event again this year. So that booking is lost. As an artist, that booking lost. Or for example, somebody might literally just be, the budget restraints now become harder. They have to relocate. So it's a different venue. The relationship they have there might be different.
And then the
price points change. So now, okay, we could only continue to work with these people. We just brought you in last year, but we've been working with these other people for the past 3 years. We had to lose one of them too, and
cut you.
and cut you as well. Logistics. Now, for me specifically, I've been able to maintain and be flexible with my business relationships, my team and the promoters that we work with. They've been doing a really awesome job to maintain the relationship and to maintain business in a sense. But I know that even for somebody who might have been new, who might have been thinking, this year I book in GBM Neutron, when all these different, information, when these these different challenges and whatnot come about, it put them, like on the back foot.
Maybe if you do it for a certain price, I can make it, but
yeah.
otherwise, pressure.
Promoters, again, the venue constraints, the logistics of it might have
And then it's a short season.
And it's a short season, right? So less time to plan, less time to get things together, more uncertainty, because there's a period just before that, you know, people would have been rigging up whatever it is they're planning on doing, that this information then came out then. So it's like, that might have shut down a lot of people's plans. And that's self-explanatory, right? I'm sure. On the emotional side of things, where some people may not be affected because you have the colleges, they have their grounds, they have their venues, right? Alcohol prices and stuff might affect them, but how they might be affected is in their patronage, in the sense of people emotionally might feel, whether they dig into the information or not, they would feel like, Carnival not going to be as good this year, Carnival under pressure this year, you know, like that energy starts to fill the space now, and people then start to become apprehensive.
Well, to compound that,
yeah,
there's the situation with our neighbors and
yes,
the US president and,
yes,
and the whole dynamics of SOE and...
Trust me, June Veronica Carter, that's my mom, is messaging me every day, Jason.
To make sure you're alive and
be
safe.
careful, be safe. Don't go home too late. How my eyes on Juve party? I had to be, you know, I had to be outside 2-3 in the morning. So it's like,
it's definitely a concern.
It's a concern because of all the information. As I said again, like you know, recently I was in St. Croix doing a show. You know, big up to the St. Croix farm over there. Shout out to Charles, Lady Lava, Cass, they were also on that show. We got stuck because, you know, Agent Orange decided to activate,
right.
And, you know, it clicked, they shut down airspaces and so on and so forth. These types of things make people, for the lack of a better, panic. It puts anxiety into the space. And that is where the emotional, like, blowback comes from, I think, where people become cautious about, maybe I'm not going to Trinidad this year because next thing you know I go to Trinidad and so. Or,
yeah. Can't leave and...
Yeah. And that does
put a damp on the whole
yeah,
scene.
it does have a cloud over the vibes. On the other side of things, Carnival is something that I do believe that ignorance is bliss, right? And I have some people who ignorant to that information that we just mentioned.
They're studying that.
So they're not studying that. You understand?
They'll pay up for the costume.
Yeah, costumes bought, fets,
tickets
bought. You understand? On the way, flights purchased. You know, there's some people who they're not missing Carnival not for nothing. You know, like they're gonna participate and make the best of it. And from an artist point of view, like that is more the energy I lean towards, because I have learned over the past couple of years. I mean, we live in our lifespan is a really interesting one, because for young and old, a lot of us, right? Once you're older than 5 years old, we have experienced COVID, pandemic, we experiencing all these different world changes, like we experiencing a lot in our time. And so it's like, for me, something I learned, especially over the past 5 to 10 years, is that in times where the world basically going through this trauma energy, you know, art comes to the rescue. Right. You know, people turn to art, be it movies, fashion, books, music, of course. People turn to these different expressions as a escape, as an outlet. And Carnival is something like that for me. It's still an opportunity for me as an artist to express myself, and regardless of the season being up here or down here or in the middle here, like the opportunity still exists. You know, I'm an individualist. I'm somebody that believes in self-regulation a lot more now than I did before. So I'm gonna do what I think is the right thing to do for me and for my energy. And I understand the challenges, I understand the possibilities of what could happen or what happening already. But that's what resilience is, right? We had to kind of push through with our beliefs and take it one day at a time, hold our line basically, stay consistent with our energy, and thankfully